Hi, my name's Keith Kettle and I work for Thundermax. I'm a technician, and today I'm going to show you and explain how we install the Thundermax on the 2014 Street Glide. This is the product that we're going to be installing. We have removed the bags, the seat, and the side cover so we can get to this area on the right side of the bike. We've also installed our O2 sensors. And what we did, we've routed them in between the transmission and the starter, and we've come out right in the side cover. Next part, we're going to do the O2 sensor connection to the module. We're just going to route it in between the frames here and come out the top, and we're going to just wrap it around to where we can get it to the ECU. Pretty simple so far. All right, now we're going to install the ECU. This is your O2 harness. It's going to plug in right here. 2 screws. You need a Phillips screwdriver to tighten them in. It's easier if you put this in first. You don't want to run them in too far, but you want to get it to where it's compressing the rubber just a little bit. That's good right there. Next thing you want to do is you want to plug them in. It's a 3 connector. So if you start one and grab the next one and do it in a sequence as that, and then snap them in place. There you are. There's a little lip right there, as you can see. What you want to do is you want to slide the ECU up as far as you can to that and grab these 2 clips on the edges. You can press it down in there, but I prefer to pull them back so you don't end up breaking the tabs. Nice and tight. At this point now, I have to connect the O2 sensor harness to the O2 sensors. This is a nice little area in here to hide your connector. So if you want to take the rear, which tells you the rear, and just slide that inside this cavity, and there's your front or your rear O2 sensor and your rear harness, and you just slide them together and listen for the click. This one's really nice because it gives you a nice place to saddle your connector right there, and you want to take a zip tie and just zip tie that in there. All right, now we're going to go to the front sensor, and we're going to route this front sensor in between the frame down to here, and we're going to bring it back, and we're going to let it hang right there for a minute. Then we're going to bring our front sensor that we've already run to there. All right, you're going to plug your O2 sensor into the O2 sensor harness. You can hear the click. That means you've got a good solid connection. Next, what you want to do is you want to tie it up in the frame somewhere. You can pick you a spot. Sometimes it's hard, but sometimes it's easy. But once you get it up high enough to where you're 100% sure you cannot drag it, get it on a trailer or going over a rock or whatever, trail riding, and you want to keep this tie on the inside of the frame, so if you do drag the frame, you don't cut the tie and the connector falls down and you end up running over the connector, and you have to call tech support because your bike's not running good. There, nice and tight. Next, we want to tie this up here. If you do it nice and loose to where you're not going to stress it, it should be okay. So you just take your zip tie and get it started and let it slide down just a little bit right here, and maybe one more right here at the top to make it nice and neat. At this point, the installation is mainly done. So what we need to do is step up to the next step, and that's adding a program to the module and getting it running. When you receive your Thundermax, you get the software, and you also get a communication cable. It's a USB, mini USB to USB. Next, what you got to do is you got to pick a map for the bike. Go to EFI Maps, right click, depending on your bike, whether it's a throttle by wire or a throttle by cable, gives you the choices. Pick the correct one for your bike. In this case, it's the throttle by wire, and that's going to bring up all your maps. And you go through your listings until you come up with your configuration. In this case, it's a 103. If you right click, it brings up all the 103s under the engine type. That's going to bring up this window. At the bottom where it says load base maps, I'm going to click that, and it's going to put the map in the background, and you close this window here. Now you've got the map on the computer. Now let's put it in the module. Turn the key switch on, and this will link. All right, we've chosen the map that we want to use. You go to File, Write Maps. Another window will open up, and you want to write it to running position. Click OK, and it loads the map. Just make sure you don't rush it and you let all the windows complete. Now at this point, we need to initialize the module, and how we do that is just turn and key switch on, which is an off for about 20 seconds. That needs to be done 4 times. You can watch your screen when the link goes away, then that's pretty much 20 seconds. So if you just pay attention to that, on and off. Okay, we're ready to start the bike. If you watch your AFR targets, your front and your rear are trying to achieve that value. Now this thing will tune, but they're not permanent until it gets to 200 degrees. Once it reaches 200 degrees, then it'll start making permanent offsets. So right now we're just going to let it warm up to 200 degrees. Yeah, once it reaches 200, it's going to actually make permanent points. This is your offset. The green point, your red mark, is your base map. These will always be here, but once it tunes, it'll make a movement up here. You'll see, as you go back and view your maps later on, you'll see that these green points are all through your map. At that point, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, you might want to go in and do an auto map, which is this right here. We don't have enough points right now to do that, but later on when you go back and view your map, you want to go and look at this and perform that. What that does is all these green points now is going to be your red points, which is basically making a custom map for your bike. We have tech support to take care of any problems that you have, and I'm certainly glad that you joined me in this venture of putting this on and loading the map into it. Maybe this will help you down the road when you buy a Thundermax and put it on your bike, and we hope you do.